trouble tonight. It is coming, and it cannot be stopped. You can contact me there on my email at remnantprepper@gmail.com, and also at my cell. That I'm working on the plans for building the places of refuge, portable shelter systems that the Lord given me. You're going to need them. You're going to need them right away here. So God has a plan. You know, when God brings destruction, He also brings forth His mercy. And so this is His mercy, that He has a plan for the evacuation of all those who would be obedient. This vision took place February 1988, Bangs, Texas. I was staying with Sister Hazel Holmes. She's a song mother to the soldier boys in Vietnam. The Lord asked me to build a house for her, and I did. I had the time. Ended up having a very nomadic lifestyle. Still being purged. Okay, going to vision 2. So you're going to get more out of this than just reading the visions themselves. So, you know, things come up that I remember. Okay, as the Spirit of the Lord came in for a second time, the force of it pushed me yet into another vision. Turning over on my left side, I could see myself leaving the ferry terminal. I was walking, about a 5-minute walk, right? There was quickness in my walk. They pushed me through the ferry terminal. They just wasn't any problem. And right now I can't even get in the States. They just kind of barred me for having stayed there too long, right? In this instance. But anyway, the Lord made a way to get there. After what seemed like a 5-minute walk or so, I remember entering the front doors of a newspaper office in the downtown part of the city. This was on street level. It was on the corner. And so it would be on the right-hand corner. You know, if you had an X, it would be like a Red Cross X. It would be the right-hand corner. That's where this was. And it was a street entry. And single-story building. All right. We are newspaper office. Okay. Walked in there, and to the right of the counter in front of me, the wall clock showed the time to be 25 minutes past 8 o'clock in the morning, and I just remember clearing customs just after 10 after 8 or something like that. It was around that time, and it seemed like I knew where I was going. And I don't know Victoria. This is Victoria, where this first vision is taking place. The office staff seemed to be half asleep, as if they had just returned from having the weekend off. 2 or 3 of the staff still had cups of coffee in their hands. And at the time, I was standing to the left side of the front counter with my back to the street entrance. I remember being dressed in black and with a large staff in my right hand. And in the spirit, I could perceive them mocking me, as God had me to speak forth a warning to evacuate the west side of Vancouver Island. That an earthquake measuring 7.4 would hit 20 miles west of Victoria, causing a 6-foot tidal wave to come inland. And so this was a mercy quake. This was the final sign. This earthquake was a final sign that about, you know, that a destructive earthquake would follow the 7.4. Anyway, this is where I saw the fear on their face. And I guess the only way that they could deal with it was that they could mock me, try to pass it off, right? But when they see me walking there with a black suit. It's strange. I was well recognized. They knew who I was. Right now, I haven't had any dealings with the media, but they knew who I was in the visions. Now, somehow, the news media in Victoria was aware of who I was, right? So I wasn't a stranger to them. So that's kind of a mystery. So I said that this earthquake would come in, and that would be God's mercy, and that minimal damage would occur if the news media would warn the public to take the necessary precautions. Okay, they were to give a warning, and for those ships, God gave enough time for those ships to come around the bottom to find shelter, and to come around to the backside of Vancouver Island. But they didn't get the warning out, and they didn't take the necessary precautions. The Lord had me to make it very clear that this particular earthquake was a final warning, and that the next quake would destroy all life along the west coast of North America. So this was not your 9.3 quake. This 9.3, 9.2 that's coming, it might have already happened here, and because of the rest of the visions, it seems to make show that this 9-point quake that 9.2 quake that we're looking for now had already happened. And anyway, I was standing to the left side of the front counter. I could remember the birds were singing. I simply waited for the hand of God to move. It was 28 minutes after 2 o'clock in the afternoon, about 6 hours after the initial warning. So that'd be enough time for the ships to get around. And suddenly, everything became quiet and deathly still. Even the wind stopped blowing. Everything, total silence, inside and outside on the street. Even the birds stopped chirping, dogs stopped barking, the whole 9 yards. The birds stopped singing, sensing what was about to happen. And within moments, the silence was broken when every phone in the office began to ring off the hook. A 6-foot tidal wave had been sighted. Oh, come on, you. Sighted heading eastward toward the city, heading eastward from the west, resulting from the 7.4 earthquake 20 miles out in the Pacific Ocean. It was not until recently that I realized that severe damage must have occurred, knocking out transportation on the west side of the island. So the only way off the island was Victoria. I believe the Victoria ferry was damaged. There was damage on the Victoria terminal, and that only left Nanaimo for the south end of Island to be evacuated. Okay, I'm going to take a break. I need a little break here. I'm going to come back on the next part. I'm hoping you guys are taking this to heart. And please get back to me. I'll work with you on an evacuation plan. What you need to do to build a portable shelter system, whether it's for 50 people, 100 people, 20 people. The Lord has a plan for you that I could easily get out to you. Okay? And so when the time comes, when the final sign is given in these visions here, you have to leave or you will end up dead. This is Joshua Taylor coming to you from here in Nanaimo, British Columbia, seeing of these visions.